everyone, it's me, Maya, and welcome to my channel. Today, I will be doing my January wrap-up and February TBR. Now, I read a total of 6 books in January. I know, I'm proud of myself too. And let's just go through them as quickly as humanly possible. The first book I read was 7 Vital Steps to Receiving the Holy Spirit. And it's by Kenneth E. Hagin. I read it in a day, and I was in line. It was between being in line and waiting at the metro stop, so I had a little bit of time to read. Because this year, I want to focus more on getting stronger spiritually, because I have my physically and emotional goals, but I really wanted to get stronger spiritually as well. So that's what this book was, and it definitely gave me a lot of good tips. Another book that I read this month with my spiritual goal is The Circle Maker by Mark Batterson. And these two together are good tips and tricks, and it also has testimonies of people who have gone through difficult situations and they've experienced miracles. I enjoyed having books that kind of helped me get stronger. A fun, interesting story is that Mark Batterson, among the many places that him and his church owns, he owns a coffee shop, and it's very near to where one of these places that I volunteer, and I was able to see it the other day. It's called Ebenezer's Coffee House, and it had the best hot cocoa and blueberry muffin I've had in my entire life. Another book that I read was the one that was in the anthology, The Glass Menagerie, which I read for the Read Harder Challenge. And also, The Circle Maker goes into another Read Harder challenge, read a book about religion. So I killed 2 birds with one stone. I got stronger spiritually and read a book about religion. High five me. So now back to The Glass Menagerie. This book was the epitome of dysfunctional families. We have, I'm going to get their names wrong. We have a mother and a daughter and a son. And I think the son's name is Tom, and he's out at all hours of the night. And Laura is painfully shy. I want to say that the mother's name is Amanda, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. And it's just their relationship with each other. And the mother is sort of worried about them because they are upwards of a certain age and they're still living at home with her. And that the mother wants Laura, the daughter, to just get married already and have someone to take care of her. So it's that interesting contention with the family as a whole. And of course, Tom is the man of the house, and now he has to take care of his family, and he isn't able to do what he wants to do because he's a poet and he likes to write. And it's amazing seeing this in play form, because of course we're used to novels. I'm definitely more used to reading from novels. So it's kind of like seeing a play and seeing the stage directions and the little information in the beginning, and kind of seeing how these people get over their issues. And will Laura find love, and will Tom get to do what he wants, and where their mother just chill out, because she's like a southern matriarch type person where she's just like, when I was your age, I was a debutante and I had all these men coming over me, and it's just like, mom. So this is like the epitome of dysfunction. I think I kind of wish that things ended a little bit better for all of the characters, but this is real life. You can't really expect a nice, tight, clean, happily ever after ending. But I think I kind of wish that all the children got to leave and they got to get away from their dysfunctional mother, but that's not how it was meant to be. But I don't want to ruin the ending for you, so I can't really tell you everything that happened. So another book I read was Undercover by Danielle Steele. And this book is told in dual perspectives. And do I know their names? Marshall Everett and Ariana Gregory. And Marshall is this DEA agent, and Ariana Gregory is this daughter of a diplomat. And these two people have parallel lives, and it's how they get to help each other. They experience their lives, and somehow their 2 stories converge, and it's how they save each other and help each other out and kind of get a little stronger. There's a lot of issues with drug trafficking and people who are angry, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on in this book, and I can't really tell you what's going on because that'll gives a lot of going away. And I think the plot as a whole I couldn't really get with. I think of all of Danielle Steele's book, this is probably one of my least favorite. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. There was a lot going on. The plot had a lot of just more intense stuff that I'm used to for her book, so it's just kind of like, this is so it's kind of it kind of threw me off, and a lot of stuff, and it was such a frustrating read because you're reading it and you know how you would react to certain situations, but then it's just like, what is happening here? So I kind of had to take a step back and like, overall, it just wasn't a personal preference. I think One Day at a Time, which I think you'll probably be able to see over my shoulder, is still going to be my all-time favorite of her books. But I just didn't like it. I read it, I finished it. I'm glad I was able to see it through, but there was just too much going on. There was just too much. Another book I read was The Paradox of Vertical Flight by Emil Ostrovski. I did a review on it, which I'll link below. And this was a book where Jack, who's this philosophy wonder kid, he considers committing suicide on the day that his ex-girlfriend gives birth to their child. And he now is a father, and he's trying to... It's really interesting kind of seeing how he deals with everything. The girl decides that she's going to give the child up for adoption, but also doesn't tell them who the father is. So now he's forced with this existential crisis of, that's my baby. I what do I do now? And I'm not ready to be a father because I told her when she told him that she was pregnant, and it's just like, what do I do? So he ends up deciding to kidnap the baby and take it to his grandmother's house. And it's just like, what? And I'm reading this and I'm just like, what? But it works out. I can't tell you how, but it's a really weird novel. It's very, very weird. But somehow, Emil Ostrovski kind of it gives you just enough weird. It's not so out there that you're just like, what is happening here? This is what? I couldn't. I think the weirdness level was a little bit more to deal with than the weirdness of Undercover. So I think you can only do so much weirdness before your people are just like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm so confused. This is crazy. I don't know. Okay, it's crazy. It's crazy. The last book I read was some book I finished just yesterday. Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Paige. I wanted to like it. I did. I didn't like it. I think it was a little too dark for me. I'm not a real big horror and massacre and grotesque type person, so it was a little too like out there with like dismemberment and stuff, and I was just like, this is but I wanted to see how everything worked out. I think it was how the story was, I think it might have been a little too long. And before I forget, in case you can't really tell from the title, Dorothy Must Die is a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy has returned and she's crazy and she's this evil dictator type person, and all of her three friends, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion, have also been changed since the last Wizard of Oz. So it's kind of a darker, very dark retelling. If you read this book, it is dark, and it's just like, what? And I think, just for me, I'm okay with longer books, but I think the problem with some longer books is that the pacing gets really slow sometimes. So I think that was my biggest problem with this book, because it's like, it was kind of like a dun, 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 dun. So it's like, so when something happened, it was still at this slow pace, so you weren't as like, it was just like, what? And the main reason I continued reading, because I wanted to see, there was a couple of unanswered questions. So even when those questions were answered and everything was revealed, it wasn't as impactful, because it was just like, when something would happen, it was just like, it wasn't as a emotional response. It was just like, that was weird. So yeah. But I read it. I mean, I think if you like darker stories, if that's your cup of tea, that's all you. But I think for me, it just didn't work out. It really didn't. Now for my February TBR. In February, I have 4 books mainly on my list. And those are Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. That one's for my Read Harder challenge. And I think that's going to be probably one of the first books I read in the month. But before that, I want to All the Light We Cannot See, which I was supposed to read this month. I want to transfer that over to next month, and that is by Anthony Doerr. I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Another book I want to read is The Goodbye by Carla Buckley. I won the book in November from the Goodreads First Reads, and I still haven't read it yet, and it came out this week or last week of January 26th, so it's just like, I should probably read this now. So I feel like I'm going to put this on my list, but of course, as we know, if there's a book that I want to read more, I'll probably read that one instead, and I want it, so it's not like it's going to go anywhere. So, I don't know. The last book, Empire of Night by Kelly Armstrong, it's the next book in the Sea of Shadows series. So I really do want to finish that series. I'm trying to do more with series this year. So, fingers crossed. Let's see if I can actually keep up with the series. I think that's about it. I hope you have enjoyed my wrap-up TBR. And I guess I will see you next time. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you would like more of these videos, please subscribe. I make new videos every Wednesday. I hope you guys had a wonderful time, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.